everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. This is Madden 18 on EA Sports. The running game will be a focus today. The Steelers are top 10 in rush yards allowed, and they're going up against our Packers team that will need to figure out how much it can count on the run.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. First carry for Ty Montgomery. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And he's going to be shoved down pretty hard. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And oh, he spins past him and into space. Touchdown, Packers. Ty Montgomery hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have taken the early lead. So they start this game just like they won. Opening drive touchdown, a nice run there to finish it off.
Yeah, that's what we call an explosive run because of the distance. And being able to do that, that puts a little uncertainty in the minds of your opponent.
Crosby on now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. first down. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett, and he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster, 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Javon Hargrave coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On second down, Montgomery finding room inside the 40. And he cuts it right sideline. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Ty Montgomery with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Nick Perry from that outside linebacker spot. He's able to get in there for a loss of 9. Now the rookie from Pitt, this is James Conner. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Okay, even just being nice, the last 2 plays were not very good offensively. So if you're the play caller, was it the team's execution or was it strategy? If it was execution, you continue to call the game the way you're calling it. But if it's strategy, change up what you're doing and figure it out.
And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
But once again, a good example of situational football. That was 3rd and very long, so you know they were guarding against the pass. And when they decided to run the ball, that was okay. Whatever yardage they picked up, as long as they didn't get to the first down marker, the defense was willing to concede, and they stopped them well short of a first down.
Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Montgomery on the counter. A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. That's a matchup maybe they go back to their outer third of the field as this game continues.
Yeah, I think back to my high school coach, John Ford. He used to say when we got big plays early in a game or good plays, he'd always say, foul it away, lad. Foul it away, because he'd want to come back to it later in a key situation. It may come back to this one a little more often than that.
Didn't he say laddie or did he say lad?
Yeah, it just depended on what he was feeling at the moment.
Okay, I thought that was the guy you told me about that used to say laddie a lot.
Laddie, when you heard laddie, he was usually in a pretty good mood. Lad,
On first and 10. Here's Rodgers. This will be caught inside the 10. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Randall Cobb, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And it is now... $21-0. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. Again, it's Connor. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
On third down. It's Davis, and he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the fourth down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he spins through. He finds some open field here. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Packers. Ty Montgomery on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Packers add on to their lead. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a less than desirable return as he's out of bounds at the 15-yard line.
Well, conventional football, football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough third down.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call.
And from their own end zone, it's a fake. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this one all the way up to the 30. It's a big play that time on the fake punt. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on fourth and long. Here's Connor. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now it's Connor. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run with Davis. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now. On presumably to punt, though he did complete a pass earlier. Big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. They'll send the tight end Bennett in motion. Now Carlos Hyde in the game. Touchdown, Packers. Carlos Hyde, 77 yards. And the Packers continue to roll. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Crosby on now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And nowhere to go. He'll make it back only to the 5-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And this one's incomplete. Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in. Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And the Steelers on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Davis. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the 1st down. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Hey, got tight left, tight end left. Come on!
1st down, a run with Hyde. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run. On 2nd down, Hyde. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a 1st with 3rd down looming. On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. On now is the Packers punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on...
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the...
Carlos Hyde, see you later. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Carlos Hyde with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Packers are pouring it on. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Crosby on now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. So the D-line's going to spread out. They go play action here on 1st down. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Clay Matthews with a pick. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
The toss play. This is Hyde. And some room to work. Past the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. That one 28 yards on the ground.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you talk about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
Come on, let's go! Brad 38! Brad 38!
again with Hyde on first. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Here we go. Brand 38.
Oh, design run for their wideout. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Back now in Pittsburgh, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he is leveled. Knocked down hard at the 14. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now Mason Crosby for the Packers field goal try. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalposts. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The drive will start with Connor. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he's brought down after a good game. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Every player I know tends to play the game in his mind before it actually happens. There's no way he thought that at this stage of the game, this would be his first big run like that.
Yeah, but it's got to feel for him like the floodgates open, a sigh of relief. Now we'll see if things get a blitz coming, and down he goes. Kenny Clark in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Flex round.
And the play clock's running down. Dobbs now on 2nd down. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield, a guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
To throw is down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
That's how we do it, baby.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Back to throw Dobbs. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. And the Steelers on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever.
Here we go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jake Ryan in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey, 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 hey. 4 down, 4 down, 4 down. Here we go. Man, third round. Ohio, 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 Ohio. Ohio, Ohio. Check 3, check 3, check 3. Out, 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 out. Hut.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Hey, come on.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. They'll set up to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminate?